Do you want in on our Larry Bird topic that I mentioned to Steven Jackson yesterday? I said, are you prepared for a day when Larry Bird drops out of the top 10 players of all time? Could you see a scenario in your lifetime where Larry Bird is not considered a top 10 player of all time?
I can see in terms of general consensus, I might not be the best person to ask on this topic because he's not only my favorite athlete of all time, he's also I personally credit him for changing the course of my life, to be perfectly honest with you, because I was on a baseball track until that dude came into the league, and I had never really played organized basketball before. And he personally made me want to start playing basketball, along with a growth spurt at the time. So I legitimately am not overstating it. He changed what I wanted to do and how much I fell in love with the game during that time. Because I went into high school at exactly the time he came into the NBA.
So just seeing him play basketball gave you hope that you could play basketball at a high level.
I think, yeah. I mean, even at that time, was I thinking I could play in the NBA one day? I mean, I wanted to be a pro athlete. I thought I was going to be a professional baseball player, and so did my father. That was like the goal. But it wasn't just like that. He gave me hope that I could be an NBA player. It was his style of play, their style of play as a team. I admired the Lakers too for the way they played. So it was kind of weird. My two favorite players were rivals. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird were my two favorite players. And they were the two guys that were trying to beat each other every year, it felt like. So just his flair, his confidence, his passing ability, the way that team passed the ball, that made me really think that's the beauty of basketball. When it's played the right way, it looks like that. And that's why I started to fall in love with it, became obsessed with it, and the rest is kind of history. Like what I did end up doing with my life. You're talking about 45 years now. Basketball has been the center of my life, everything I've built.
Did you ever thank Larry Bird in person?
I never thanked him in person. I did have one very cool moment with him. He won't remember it, but of course I'm not going to forget it. It was shooting around a preseason game. I never really caught Larry Bird as a player because he was finishing up. He had back problems. He was about to retire, and I was on the court alone, just he and I, opposite ends of the floor, shooting before a preseason game. I think it was in Hartford, Connecticut, if I am not mistaken. And I'm like, that's Larry Bird down there. We're the only two out there because he went out early. I used to go out early. We're out there shooting. At one point, I kind of drifted to the other end, so we were shooting on the same end of the court, just us and some ball boys. And we shot for a while, and I was making them. He was making them. We're both good shooters. And then he finished, and he walked past me. And as he was walking past me to go to the tunnel to leave the court, he just, without even looking at me or changing the direction of his head, he just said, "Nice shooting." And he just kept walking, and that validated my life. That was all I needed to hear. I probably should have just quit right then and just like, hey, that's all I needed. I'm good.